We heard how just a couple of weeks ago, a 6-year-old boy was murdered by an exclusivist fanatic in response to his mother saying Shia prayers at the Prophet's temple. We saw how last year 11 people were shot and killed as they worshiped in a synagogue. And how just last week at a Hindu temple in Kentucky, threats were made and vandalism was spray painted all over their walls. Unfortunately, the list goes on and on. We cannot be complacent and allow these threats and these attacks to occur on our brothers and sisters. We must stand up and speak out with one voice and condemn this bigotry and condemn this violence and the harm and the pain and suffering that it causes. Stand together and stand as one, speaking out for the freedom that we cherish, that freedom that allows us each to worship as we choose, or for those who choose not to worship, to live in peace and to live in freedom with respect for one another. As stated in the Quran, to you be your religion, to me be mine. Now, the terror that we see being perpetrated in the name of God or in the name of religion is actually a refusal to honor the inherent freedom that all people have, this freedom that is given by God, to choose to worship and love God or to choose not to. And this religious terrorism is born of this exclusivist ideology that says, my faith is the only legitimate faith. And anyone who does not believe as I do must either be killed or converted or enslaved or raped. Terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda share this divisive and exclusivist ideology, at which is the heart of the Wahhabi Salafist ideology that's propagated by Saudi Arabia around the world, showing a complete disregard for human rights. Saudi Arabia being a country where dissidents are beheaded, where women are oppressed, and religious minorities are persecuted. All things that run counter to the freedoms and principles that we hold dear here in this country. Now, throughout my time in Congress, I have introduced legislation, supported legislation, and continued to have strong calls on the administration to end their support for Saudi Arabia's genocidal war in Yemen, to stop selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, and to recognize that Saudi Arabia is not our ally. Their interests are not our interests. The list of examples and evidence to back this up are many, but just to name a few. This genocidal war in Yemen that's being waged by Saudi Arabia with United States support has killed tens of thousands of innocent people, has caused tens of millions of Yemeni civilians to starve, to be sick without access to medicine, creating the worst humanitarian crisis in a generation. Saudi Arabia is supporting terrorists. You saw an article in CNN just the other day that was not surprising if you know and understand the history, where Saudi Arabia is taking the weapons that the United States is providing to them and giving them to Al-Qaeda in Yemen, the very same terrorist group that attacked us on 9/11. And Saudi Arabia continues to spend billions of dollars spreading this exclusivist Wahhabi Salafist ideology around the world that fuels these terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. This ideology of violent exclusivism must be defeated. It must be defeated.